round about now. We should be live. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming in. I hope you're all still enjoying the weather. We are back live again after Wednesday night. So we just say nightmare. But we think we've ironed out all the gremlins and whatnot. So hopefully nothing happens tonight. I don't go for we don't lose anything, fingers crossed. I was just bad. It was so bad. That's how we tend it, because we just get it was one of these things you just give up.
Yeah.
You've tried everything you possibly can and nothing works, and you think, right, time just to go and lie down somewhere. And give up. Hey everybody. So tonight we have back in Rose Cardy, and she's brought her sister with her as well. Emma.
Yes.
I like this. I mean, actually, saying that all day to I say, I'll say sister. I know. Oh, you brought your sister with you.
No, my sister.
It's Rosie's mum. This is the first time we've met her, and it'll probably be the last. But it is what it is. Thank you for coming in, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. So I'm going to kick off with the usual thing, Rosie. And I hope your mum's been practicing.
Okay. Right now, I'm drinking some peach iced tea.
Peach iced tea.
How was that?
For anybody who's never seen Rosie Wears before, it's a kind of running joke. Rosie's been on too many times, quite a few times. And I don't actually know how it started. I just started as
I don't know either.
It's one of these things that start, and then you think, how did it start? You don't have a clue, but you keep going with it.
So, I think it's just gone on too long. I just don't even know where it started.
I was with it, but I love people trying to do a Scottish accent. It's fantastic.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
It is.
It's raw. It's raw. So anytime Rosie comes in, always get her to try a Scottish accent, because it keeps getting better and better. 10 years.
But I tried finding some iron brew today, but all I could find was this.
So you could find was this iron brew.
Right. Yeah, I couldn't find him. I couldn't find some iron brew. I think it was a bit like Newcastle, a bit of Manchester in there, bit of like Southern Scotland in there, and then
I don't know, I was a bit screwed up there.
Don't ask Mum if I'm screwed up.
No.
It's a bit mixed up, same as my tan. You know what I mean? I'm kind of white and stuff.
Yeah.
That's when you know you got a turkey neck in it, when your face is red.
Yes.
Or you get man boobs, you can lift them up and you get the two white legs.
Literally going to the sub. Yeah.
Or you've been lying too much in the wire. I used to drive lorries for a living, and obviously you get driver's arm, and one side of me was always brown, and the other side was,
So the arms hanging out.
Yeah.
I looked like one of the eclairs, the brown and the white, but kind of brown this side, white that side. You used to try and drive with that. With the arrows,
one leg
even
hanging out.
Anyway, Emma, you're not getting away with it. I hope you've been practicing your accent.
Well, I have been watching a lot of Two Doors Down, the comedy. So I'm not going to follow Christine, what she would normally say, but I'll go with, no bother. That's about it.
No bother.
No bother.
No bother at all, lass. It's no bother when you really can get a good go.
I'm not doing a Christine line.
I've not seen it.
If you want to watch something that's truly Scottish, there's a lot of great Scottish programmes, but watch Still Game. Have you heard of Still Game?
No.
Well, Jack and Victor, it's about two Glasgow pensioners and what they, what they're up to and all their friends and stuff. You need to watch that.
It's swearing.
I love Two Doors Down. We'll do the Christine line.
No.
No. I don't watch it, so I don't know what the Christine line is.
I don't know either. I want to hear it.
Can I do it? I told you
Well,
I'm
see,
not
I can't-
one.
I can't say aye or no because I don't know what it is.
I don't know.
You fucking bastards.
I'm surprised you didn't spit his drink out then.
It's a load of
Well, let
shit.
that one play then.
You need to watch it.
I'm not time to watch it. I'm too busy. I'm too
I know.
busy with stuff. You know what I mean? What's as PIH admin, it's allowed. Okay, but
It's approved. Seal of approval.
It's a bit late now.
Well, it's 9 o'clock, so
Yeah, it's after the watershed.
yeah.
it's after the 9 o'clock watershed, you know. So we do it a lot. I've done it myself. I swore, you know. I think you do it more in investigations, I think, than you do it on a live.
When you're
You know.
listening to an
Yeah.
EVP back and all you can hear is fudge in the background because that's me falling over.
Like you stub your toe off a headstone or something like that, and you cuss the person.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You're mine.
But it does. It comes out. You know. I mean, I'm there's Sarah here as well.
Hi.
I'm a Glaswegian, so I do have the odd slip up. Not very many, but I do have the odd slip up. But anyway, well, hey team, this Facebook user. The Facebook user. Now I might have this wrong. I don't know. I might be giving you a bum steer. If you get into the post and hit the StreamYard thing, gives you permission, and your name should come up. Don't break the computer. You see, she's got a lot of faith in me with computers.
We'll try and keep him like to one finger button only. Like,
I used to be a one finger typer. I still am with my phone. Computers I can kind of two hands now. With my phone, I've watched people. Sarah does it. And they'll sit with the thumbs, you know, and they'll go like that.
like you're playing a Game Boy, but they're like this. Like,
Yeah, that's you.
Whereas I'm kind of like one finger. But you know the thing. See, when I'm drunk, I type really fast and I get it all correct.
Is that predictive text?
Predictive text is the worst.
I hate that. Then somebody nails you back because you've got them a cabbage or something. You might say garage. You know, it's in your cabbage, stuff like that.
I think my brother did one, didn't he, to Dad one time? My dad, I can't remember what it was, but my dad just ripped back like, "Excuse me," like, and obviously, I think all my brother was on about was like coming around doing the garden or something.
Yeah,
but doing the garden changed it to doing something else.
And I did message Dad one asking him to get magic mushrooms. Not magic mushrooms. It was magic chutney instead of mango chutney.
Magic chutney.
That'll be thing done in England, magic.
She did phone me one time when I was on my day off. Rosie, where did you get magic mushrooms from? Why are you phoning me, your daughter? What would I know where they are? Well, I do.
Man, you know,
we were having a conversation at work. You know, we were bored
about mushrooms.
I have taken the huff of that as well. That's like phoning you up and saying, you know, what drug dealer is the best one to go to? Kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Why would I do that?
If you wait a minute, Mum, I'll get my list out for you. You know,
give me a little black book out.
I'll get my black book and you can. Hey, Stan, buddy. I was waking up to get magic mushrooms. You know, so that obviously says a lot for you, Rosie. Hey, channel buddy from across the pond.
Hi, across the pond.
As you can see tonight, folks, we don't have any format, don't have any topic. We get nothing really. We're just going to talk rubbish.
Yeah, we just have a general. We go paranormal chit chat, then we go into magic mushroom random chat. Back into. I will say, everybody. My mum's dog's still up because it's like normally it's his bedtime, but he's out playing, and he's got his ball stuck underneath the table, so he's whinnying right now.
Excuse the noises.
That's thinking what?
Yeah.
It's not the hubby in the background.
No.
Well, you said his balls stuck under the never mind. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's funky. Right?
I'm just going to go and get the ball for him because he's whining. Bless him.
Well, where'd your mum go?
Yeah, she's just going to go and get the ball for him. There he is. That's it. He's got his. Once he's got his ball, he's fine.
He's away.
He's a happy dog.
Normally he'll join up in here in between us.
He'll be up in a minute.
That's right. So, but we talk some paranormal. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the Ghoul Gang.
Yeah.
I know we spoke before, Nat knows everything. Tell us a bit about the Ghoul Gang. For those who haven't met your charming self before. Don't worry, Emma, I'm coming to you. Don't worry, you're not going to do it.
Okay. So, the Ghoul Gang, we're newly, how long are we now? About 2 months now?
Couple of months.
Yeah, we're about 2 months. We're new. We've been doing it for years, but we just thought, you know what? Why not? We're just going to make our own group. We do ghost walks and we do some paid locations. So we do have we've just booked our Halloween special.
We have.
Yes. Are we telling where we are, or should we wait for a minute?
No, we can tell.
Should we
You
tell?
can't do that, Rosie. You can't say we've booked a Halloween special and then say, well, we tell them. Do that.
We can spill.
Oh, let's spill. We'll spill the beans of where the Ghoul Gang is going for our Halloween special. So we are going to the Haunted Paranormal Research Centre, which is near Leicester, so near Bosworth. I've been there before, stayed the night. Absolutely amazing place. So we've landed that for our Halloween special, 29th of October. So we're doing a sleepover. So we will be doing some lives. Hopefully we'll try and do majority of the night, and then we'll try and get some kip down before we drive home about 6-7 o'clock in the morning.
Excellent. That sounds. I'll certainly be watching it for that. Our Halloween last year didn't quite go according to plan.
Oh,
you know. I was quite. It'd been raining all week last year,
right.
And Halloween was on the Friday, so Friday it was dry. So we're like, yes. So we went to the location. It was a old castle. We'd been there before and get tons of activity, but it was one of these occasions we never recorded it. It was just they kind of places, right? We'll jump in here, see what happens. You don't record tons of stuff. So we went there and about 10-15 minutes in, the heavens opened.
Oh no!
And all you don't want your equipment out, and obviously you can't hear anything going on. It's nature. It's Mother Earth, trying to hide something. I would say.
That's why we sort of went for a bit of an indoor location as well.
Yeah. So. Keep it warm.
Keep it warm.
No, we don't do it because up here, the majority of cases up indoor you need to pay for. And we're Scottish. We don't even pay for the TV license. Never mind the location.
No.
No. And we got a letter for them a couple of weeks ago. Now here's the dumbest thing. See, this is what happens, folks. We go paranormal, then we just kind of jump off it. We got a letter for them telling us when they're coming out.
Oh.
They're coming out to see us. But they tell you when they're coming. If you're going to wait in,
you're gone. I've packed up and gone.
Our man will be out on the 23rd of August at 2:30. Yeah, Willie, I'll not be here. I'll be in Tesco or something, mate.
Yeah, I'll be out between 1:45 and 5 p.m. So I'll post that back to them when I'll be out.
And, back in the old days, they used to just turn up at your door. But now they actually mail you, send you a letter telling you the date and the time they're coming.
Yeah,
which is nice of them.
It's courtesy, but you're going to be out.
I wonder how many people actually sit in and wait.
Sorry, what's that?
You actually wonder how many people actually sit in and wait on them coming.
Yeah, I don't think so. No. I wouldn't. Definitely not. It's like when you see a brown envelope, never open it.
File it.
File it, burn it.
I'll tell you that. I used to we'll go back on the paranormal, but I used to have a mate in Glasgow years and years ago, and he never ever paid his TV licence, and for some reason the estate they lived in, the calls would come round. But what he used to do is he used to cut the plug off his telly, you know, when he saw them outside and what have you. And so, you know, over the sort of weeks, months, whatever it was, the cable in his telly get weird and weird and weird.
Oh no!
Everything came.
Oh no!
Keep winding up with that much or something. You know, it could be plugged into the wall. TV license plug.
Gone.
You got to run out of cable. I'll buy another telly.
Yeah.
It literally ended up that size.
Oh.
However, Facebook users are saying they have a crying house.
Oh, crying house in Wolverhampton. Nice.
So you're going to be doing Halloween one day, overnight, or?
Yes.
It's going to be an overnight investigation. So we've got all of our team, haven't we? And I think we're going to have probably a couple of friends, and family join us.
Yeah.
Because we all pay. We're a non-profit business basically, so we pay out of our own pockets for this. Sorry, the dog wants the ball to be thrown.
So basically, whatever the cost of the hire is, we just split it between however many people are going.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
But it's a big enough place. So I know Rachel from Lost Souls Paranormal. So you had Nikki and Gemma on not so long ago. They've been there as well. But yes, it's a brilliant place. Highly recommend it. And obviously watch out for our lives for Halloween. There's so many. They've got like a case there, which was the person that performed the autopsies on Jack the Ripper's victims. So that was his doctor's case. So
hasn't got the items.
Hasn't got the items in it. No,
but it's
the case. So feeling that and knowing they obviously those poor victims, the energy you get from it. They have a pot of dirt. Now obviously it's a bit grim. A very grim one, but they have a pot of dirt from 25 Cromwell Street, so Fred and Rose West. So they have artifacts like that there. They have a doll's room, so that's where I
She's
slept.
in heaven.
Yeah, I'm in heaven. But yeah, it is an awesome place, and all these different rooms with all these artifacts. It's brilliant. Hi.
Right from Spike, we've been collaborating with them.
Yes.
Really, really good team. Give them a look up. We're back out with them on the, I think it's the 13th of August, Rigger. I'm not too sure. I mean, you've got all these artifacts and what have you. Do you think that negative energy can cling on to maybe like a bag or a bit of dirt or something?
Yeah, I think
you take theory as well.
Yeah, I don't think I would say like evil spirit would come through. I feel like negative. So naturally, if you fill that bag and you get told what it is, naturally you have the mindset of it's grim, it's not nice. But we touched it before we got told, and you naturally feel this energy from it. And it was a bit dark. So it felt not evil, but it just felt dark and not nice. But that's not the person that held it. It was obviously what the bag was used for. So obviously when you got told it after, it made sense the way it felt. So
and that's sort of like to do. We don't do, wherever we go, we don't look at any history and particularly things like that. We don't look what they've got. I mean, because you've been.
I've been, so I don't know.
But personally, I wouldn't. Obviously, a couple of the items, because you FaceTime me.
Yes.
Sticking your fingers in some dirt.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we'll do a bit of the history afterwards once we find out what it is. So, because we just don't want to be influenced. Yeah.
So here's a question, obviously, mother and daughter. When you go out investigating, who's in charge? Who's the boss? The mum or the daughter?
I've got to be the boss. I've got to be the boss.
It's that one.
I had to throw that one in there. I had to throw that
Yeah,
one.
it's her.
Mum's the boss when mum's being mum. But I think, yeah.
I'm the tag along for the ghost hunts.
Oh, you're not a tag along.
Well, yeah.
No, you're not. You're a paranormal investigator.
Okay.
You've earned the title after about 3 investigations.
Exactly. Yeah, you've earned your
Okay.
title. Everyone.
She's
all
still
of
the
us-
boss, though.
Well,
Yeah. We all
She's
do.
a good boss. You know, I reckon she's quite, you know,
Yeah.
I've watched quite a few investigations.
Try and gently guide.
I normally get rolled off something.
What I like about Rosie's lives and investigations is there's no drama. You know, there's no rolling about commando style behind headstones and that's
Yes.
a demon and you know all the rest of it. It's down to earth and it's very easy to watch. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
We try and
You
be
know.
very polite, very respectful, because if I think to myself, if I was a ghost and someone comes in going, I command you, blah blah, I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I'll be gone.
Are you with it?
But if someone comes in and is like, would you like a cup of tea, or would you like some chocolate, or you know, be friendly and be nice, like you would talk to somebody as a human being, real life, then I would be more inclined to kind of communicate. That's how I see it.
No, I thought I've got a question for you. I totally agree. You need to be. I mean, need disrespect to other teams, but I've watched quite a few of them, and they're very strict and regimental. And I demand that you answer me now, and you be like
If
that.
that
You
works
know,
for them,
sort of. I'll answer you when I feel like it.
yeah.
But I
But at
think
the end of the
Spirit,
day, sorry.
I think Spirit is more inclined to answer you or communicate with you if you're just laid back and relaxed, as somebody says. From the
When people
rock.
start talking about paranormal, it's always like, oh, it's scary. We've got to do this. We've got to do that. And it's not. A lot of times it's nice and gentle.
Yeah.
And that, like I say, that's how you just want to hear their stories and have them coming through to you.
I've
So,
always,
you know,
I've always kind of fallen in with I'm trying to, you feel like you're talking to a brick wall, don't you? Like you feel like you're talking to thin air kind of thing. But I always try and talk to them that I know that you've passed over, but I want to help your memories live on, help your soul live on, share us the last memories that you had with us so we can tell them to other people. So that's the approach I take. And I've had some bad things before. I've been scratched, had my hair pulled up, not asked for it, but I just kind of roll with it and gently move away from that area. So,
like we did a few weeks ago.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you guys heard it. We didn't.
The scratching, I'll pop your question up 2 seconds. The scratching in that, I can't remember who it was, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to somebody, and everyone always associates the scratching, etc., with it's negative, it's demonic, what have you. But then I was talking to that'll annoy me. It will come back to me. And we'll say maybe it's no negative. Maybe it's the only way that it could be a new spirit.
Yes.
Maybe it's the only way they can think of getting your attention. They don't mean any harm. You know what, a kitten, for instance.
Yes. Well, yeah, exactly. Like we spoke about the cats on the top of the door and hiding, and then they jump out with their claws.
Yeah.
Absolutely, 100% agree with you on that. New. Yeah.
So it could be. It might not be, Satan or whoever. It might just be that the only way that they can think. To get your attention. How did you guys get into paranormal investigate?
I'll go first. So I think obviously, so when I was a kid, we watched
that program.
It was the program that obviously I'm 31 now. So when I was about 10, that's about 10.
That makes me sound really bad, letting you watch that program.
Yeah. I was about 10, and we watched Most Haunted. That was the It program when I was a kid.
Sorry, Rosie. I think the entire UK started out with Most Haunted.
Yeah.
Everybody who spoke to, I mean, 95% of people who spoke to about it,
Yeah.
I used to, and it's always I used to watch. It's
Yes.
never
I
still
used
watch.
Yeah.
I
No.
used to watch. Anyway, sorry, Rob.
So yeah, I started watching that. I used to watch horror movies on my own, obviously when I was a bit older.
Yeah.
Yes. And Mum then knew I was going to be a little weirdo. I used to sit in the dark at like 2:00 in the morning. I like got home from college to finish my work. 2:00 in the morning. I'm watching like Friday the 13th. You know, I'm watching horror films, and I'm like with my popcorn, like. So obviously that then obviously started watching like darker films like Paranormal Activity coming out. And then I did my first ghost hunt when I was 18. We went to the Isle of Wight. It was it's now a block of flats. At the time it was an old mental asylum that housed I think around about 25 to 30 people. But before it got demolished right down, a spiritual medium, she ran a small group along the south coast, and she wanted to go to the Isle of Wight because it was where one of her ancestors were. And I went to the Isle of Wight. I sat down on the corridor on my own. They said that there's a red light at the end of the corridor because that's their camera. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Cool beans. I'm balls of steel down here. I'm sat down on the floor. I've got my back to the wall, and I felt what I can only describe as like arms coming out and pulling me in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've never ran so fast in my life for the next group. But the next group was like along that corridor, along again, and 2 corridors down. But from then I got the paranormal bug, and I've just loved it ever since. Watched programs religiously, just doing my own kind of thoughts of like theories. Obviously, there's many theories out there of spirits and how they are here. I just kind of think about that, and I go into like Bigfoot kind of thing. Is he real? Just everything like that. I just keep thinking and thinking.
Just the unexplained.
Everything unexplained. I'm addicted to, because I think I'm unexplained.
Well, only your mother can answer that one. Sorry.
Don't answer that.
What about you, Emma? How did you get a part?
Well, obviously that program we used to sit and watch, and I think what really made me addicted to it was they did a live. It was at Bewley, the National Motor Museum, and it was a place where my granddad used to be a gamekeeper there. So my father grew up on those grounds, and it just sort of really piqued my interest. Unfortunately, it's not somewhere we can go because they don't take people. Then Rosie and I worked together, and then a few years ago, she kept going on about it. And as a group, we were all like, yeah, do you know what? Let's just go and do one. We'd have a work outing. And we went to Wimmering Manor on the south coast. And my husband, he's like, he can't even watch a horror movie. He's like this. But we dragged him along with us, and we came out, and he's like, yeah, when we go in again, because there was so much activity and things you could not explain. And then obviously Rosie was with another group and used to come along with you, and now we are where we are. But yeah, it's getting interesting. I've had a lot more things happening to me recently. I think
both of us are bouncing off of each other with. So Jamie is one of our who you met last time, is one of our team members. He is trained as a psychic medium, and he's helping us with ours, because I believe everybody's got a psychic ability. It's if you want to allow it to come out. Never shy from it, because I think maybe I used to shy from it. I don't know, but since the last year,
you've come really susceptible.
I've come really, really, really sensitive to it. And then yourself.
Yeah, but I'm probably holding back a little bit more at the moment. I mean, initially I was like, I do believe, but I don't want to see it, feel it, hear it, have it touch me or anything like that. And it wasn't until a few years ago. I mean, we lost my dad 2010. And about 18 months later, we were at a pub, because my father-in-law also died 18 months before. And it was a party, and we were letting off the old Chinese lanterns with messages on that you weren't allowed to.
Aye.
And there was all of us stood, and everybody was stood back, made sure the kids were back.
You were at the back as well.
No, I was stood holding a lantern with Dad. I had my back to the crowd, and I literally felt this go down the centre of my spine on my back. And I looked around to think, oh, it's one of the kids, to tell them to get back, and nobody was anywhere near me. And I'd literally just written a message to my dad on this lantern. So I just think, yeah, that was his approval. And then since then, more things have been happening. Yeah. And yeah, I do get a bit sometimes. Yeah, like a few weeks ago. Yeah.
Laura, so you need to remember there were people who need respect. You show respect most of the time, so it'll be respectful back for the odd grumpy one.
Definitely.
100%.
Yes.
Most Wanted was on in Texas as well. It seemed to be everywhere Most Wanted, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My show, which was the X-Files, got me into Paranormal.
I
used to Mulder and Scully. I used to fancy.
I never watched it.
I've watched it later on in life. Yeah.
I watched it for Gillian Anderson. There you go. I'll be honest. You know, I watched it.
You've got to have some candy on there, haven't you?
I know what you mean about, you know, you start to notice things more, and I think it's because, as you say, Rosie, everybody's psychic to a certain degree. Some people hold it away, some people don't believe it. Some people want to believe it, but you kind of, you know, want to put it in the back burner, basically. But I think because you go out investigating, so you do have that belief there that you subconsciously, it's a barrier. Subconsciously, you're lifting that barrier more and more each time. And so you're starting to, you know, pick up, notice, whatever you want to call it, notice things that you hadn't noticed before because you're always this barrier down.
Yeah. I think, like with myself, like I said in the last year, I've become a little bit vulnerable. So I was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis. And since then, hasn't it? I went through a rough patch with the health. I'm good on some good treatment now, and the sunbeds are working perfect for my psoriasis. But since then, obviously, from being vulnerable, that's when it really kicked in. So I think the place that we went to when I first saw my first vision, I think was the worst place to go to be vulnerable. It's where we sometimes go.
It's a dodgy place.
It is a very dodgy place. I couldn't go in there on my own because I'm always kind of threatened as well in there. I get called the B word. So I think with my vulnerability brought it out. Now I'm learning to control it, and I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, I'm not at this stage where these big psychic abilities it's here and there. It's just very subtle for me at the moment, but I'm learning to control it on and off. So, and you're seeing colours.
Yeah, I see a lot of colours, which is really strange. I think we were at Shepton Mallet, and we were actually a bit cliche in the morgue. Pitch black. There was a K2 in the middle of the floor, and obviously you're going to see colours, sort of your green, orange, red. And I kept seeing what I describe as peacock colours. It was just like flecks of greens and purples and blues. And I'm thinking, no, my eyes are tricking me.
We were making sure nobody had like reflective clothing on, just to make sure like nothing was reflecting off.
But literally, it was just like flashes of colour. And we've been to a place called Clapham Woods as well. Unfortunately, it's a place in Sussex where it's a bit of a dumping ground for bodies. And I always see white lines coming towards me. It's really, really strange. And I also, you know, when people say the temperature changes and they get really cold, I seem to feel it as warmth. Because again, we were at Clapham Woods and I was stood next to Rosie and I said, I can feel this really warm. You kicked me out of the way. Took some photos sort of in quick succession and captured somebody hanging in a tree. It was really weird.
I'll send you that later, Scott. I will send you. So like, when Mum kicked her out the way, I started taking the selfies because I think sometimes when you turn around, it's like
you're not going to see it with the naked eye.
So I feel sometimes if you're facing what you feel, maybe it could hide. But if you're then just doing a quick selfie, like it's you're not turned around. I'll catch my eye in it so you can see it's me. And yeah, we can see somebody hanging in the tree, and it's not.
It's clear as anything.
It's so weird.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to say me that, but just what you were saying there, Emma, about the warmth. I can relate to that. A couple of years ago, Sarah and I were in Greyfriars, and I'll pick up on spirit randomly. I'm not a medium. I'm not nothing bugger all. But it can happen randomly. I'll pick up and stuff. And we're in Greyfriars, and Sarah could feel this heat coming towards her. And when I stood in front of her, this was, I don't know, Sarah's still in the chat. This was late at night. It wasn't during the summer or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And when I stood in front of her, the heat disappeared. But I picked up on a male. It was very, very brief. A male standing beside us, and then it disappeared. But it was heat rather than cold.
Yeah.
And the same thing happened last year at Kirkcard. We went to a few times, and I would always pick up on this girl. And we got responses with the K2 meter, etc. And so what we could make out her name was Rebecca. Laura will remember her as well. And a couple of times I'd be standing and I could feel her standing at the right hand side of me, and my right hand would be warm.
Wow.
My left hand would be cold.
Yeah. We went we've been to Clapham several times, and believe me, it never fails. It always puts on a show. And one of the times we were there, something happened to me. And when we went back the second time, we were stood in exactly the same place. And I'm thinking, come on, come and do it again. But actually, I just had warm running down my leg.
Yeah.
And it was the side that what happened to me had happened. It was just really weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, so for me, it's warm and light. Yeah. Different coloured lights. It's weird.
Yeah, a lot of people just associate it's going to be cold, but it was
And it was just like, that advert with I think it's a Super Crisp advert where the big arms come round and hug you. It literally was just that sort of feeling. It was so random. Yeah. But good. Yeah. We got to capture that.
Yeah. So I'll just read Laura's message as well. Yeah.
Was the only one that could. I remember that was it. That was the location we done last Halloween. That was the one we just done at random when we composed it. There was about 4 or 5 days there, I think. That particular night, and everybody could see this white mist shape going by. We used to be wondering.
Wow.
I never got to see it.
I want to see it.
That's what it was white. What is there something right? I smell or something. What's right with me? Everybody else can see it, except me. What the hell's this feel like that?
No. Next time.
That was a weird night with the K2 metering that out and with the necrophonic on, and the words came through after it's cold here or something that came through, and I says, "Were you a prisoner here? Were you?" And the necrophonic, the K2 was going nuts. This location is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing, and obviously, were you a prisoner here? And it went up to, it was going to red. Or if it wasn't going to yellow, it was going to red constant.
So very strong. Yeah.
And I said, were you executed here? Were you hung here? And it went back, stayed on red and brought back. I said, were you a witch? Were you accused of witchcraft? And bang, it went up to red again.
Wow. Awesome.
It was a happy night. Great, but there was the one night we never actually recorded it. So, but the K2 was going, it was constantly red with every question that we were answering. So what we could ascertain was there was a woman who had been held at the castle, accused of witchcraft, was found guilty, and she'd been hung.
Wow. So and like you said, it's in the middle of nowhere, so there's no interference for your K2s to be going off like it is. And that's awesome. That's brilliant.
Yeah, the K2, if there is any interference, we'll maybe jump up to yellow, flicker about.
Yeah.
But this was solid red. If this spirit was really trying to get our message across.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
I'm here, and I'm not saying it was. This is just the answers we were, the responses we were getting to the answers.
Yeah.
The responses we were getting to the questions. I mean,
yes. This is the thing. Is like with us, obviously, everything we don't say, "Oh my God, that's paranormal."
No.
It's what, like you said, it's the answers that you're asking to then find out the history. Is that a coincidence that your equipment was going off at a strong answer to the questions? It could, it's yes and no questions, isn't it? So if it's no, nothing happens. Like we like using the cat balls, those famous flashing cat balls. If they go off, how does it go off? And I make everyone stamp next to it, jump next to it. I've even had men laying on the floor blowing it, and then the opposite one will go off, like behind them. And it just kind of shows that something's there. Something's there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, we're not saying definitely it is. It's just unexplainable.
We've not had a action recently, have we? Though
no, we haven't.
No.
Last place
more
we went
necrophonic.
To, it was necrophonic night.
What would you think of the necrophonic?
Wow. So when I did I spoke to Mickey York around about a year ago. Actually, he introduced it to me. So I was watching some of his lives, and he was using it. So I thought, okay, let's have a crack at the necrophonic. So I paid for it because I have Paratech as well, and I now prefer necrophonic to Paratech. I turn my phone into flight mode, so everything's kind of, hopefully my phone's not listening to me. And the last place that we investigated, which is amazing, is exclusive to the Ghoul Gang.
Yeah.
I can't disclose this location just yet.
But if you're down,
if you're down here, you're coming.
Yeah.
we'll get the keys. No, easy as that. We'll just get the keys and we're in for the night, or even for the weekend.
As long as we want.
Necrophonic, oh my, played the biggest part of that night. It said,
well, normally it only comes out with like single words, doesn't it?
Yeah, random words, as you know.
Yeah,
but it was coming out with sentences.
Yeah,
full sentences, and then it would be like a man and then the woman talking, and then you thought you heard cool beans. I thought I heard my name being said, so I thought, okay, if you're that intelligent, can you say cool beans? Next minute,
it laughed and said yes.
It laughed, said yes, and said cool beans. So how can the necrophonic repeat exactly kind of what we've just said? Backing off from that location, we used it at the location where I spoke about, where I had my vision, my psychic stuff was coming out. We was talking about, before we put necrophonic on, we was talking about our boss and her name, and we then put necrophonic on. We was getting loads of stuff through. I was being called the B word as normal, and then I was saying, who's the B word? Who's a bitch? And it said she. I then said, who's she? And it said the boss. And then it said Celine. Now, our boss is actually called Alison, but she goes by Celine. And how can...
It's not a common name.
It's not a common name down here anyway. So 20 minutes ago, from that necrophonic saying that, we mentioned the boss, Celine, to Jamie. And it was a reason why, because we at work we've been having some stuff going on, haven't we? So we said about the boss Celine and asking her different questions, and necrophonic repeated it.
Yeah.
How can...
So it's just like it was telling us it was there listening to us.
They're listening to your
when we had that conversation.
Yeah. And my phone was in flight mode again.
Yeah.
So the reason I'm asking, we use the necrophonic a lot, and I'm no big in tech, as you know, but I do, we do love the necrophonic. But I was reading, there was a post on Facebook, I'm not going to name any names, whatever, but basically this individual was saying that people believe the necrophonic because they are uneducated.
Right.
I don't know if you read it or no, Rosie.
I haven't. No, I haven't seen it. No. I'll have to have a look out for it.
And basically, it was don't believe everything that comes out of the necrophonic. And it was, well, why do people use this? And this person, because they're uneducated. But as you say, when you get intelligent responses like cool beans, etc., you
Yes.
can't explain that. We've had it ourselves. You know, we've had a event I told you, we called the Whispering Lady. It was a full sentence, 5 or 6 words, I think it was, all together.
Wow.
We've had it with Scottish accents.
Yeah.
Now, as far as we're aware, the necrophonic isn't programmed with different accents.
Well, this is the thing, because
Yeah.
when I was at one of the locations with Jamie, it was just me and Jamie there. Jamie had felt like war stuff going on. Didn't say Americans, but then this man, Jamie said, "Are you here?" And this American man comes back really strong thick accent. Go, I'm going to try and attempt an American accent here. Sorry, guys.
Even if you're Scottish, go on.
This guy came through and said, "We're here." Really, like, and we were like, "Wow, okay, are you American?" And it just I think he said yes, and then it just kind of went from stopped, and it was like, okay, how did American accent come through? Okay, it's a round the world thing. It's on mobile phones. It's an app. It's on Android. It's on Apple. But Andrea, my partner, sorry, Andrea. Jamie was thinking about the war. Said, "Are you here?" And obviously, Americans are known to be in that location.
Yeah, as it would have made sense.
It would make
for that
sense
location.
for the Americans to say, "We're here."
Yeah.
And it's like,
That's the thing.
How?
We've had a lot of Scottish replies, and Spig, Riggy, who was on here on Spig, we've been out with him a couple of times, and you know, we've had the necrophonic one, and it's came through as well. You know, Scottish accents. They do. They call it the blind spirit box, where they use the necrophonic and the ear plugs in, the ear defenders, and what we've seen this ourselves. We were just totally gobsmacked. What they'll do is, first time we were out with them, they wrote the number 4 on the whiteboard, and they says, "Right, Spirit, what number is here?" And it was regular, was doing the thing.
so
And they come back, and now they asked for the number out the comments, so it wasn't prearranged. You know, they says, "Right, give us a number," and they says, and they came back 4.
Wow.
And then they drew.
that's intelligent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They drew a square, and so you tell me what shape this is. They came
Yeah.
back square.
That is so
Yeah.
awesome. So I've done that before. So with the spirit box of the Gansfield. So I haven't done it with the necrophonic, but I've done it with the Gansfield, the spirit box, sorry. And we were at a farm, and the person blindfolded, fine. But they've got our back. They're back to us. I then had my little chalkboard, and I said to the person, you know, because they were like, "What do I write? What do I do?" And I was like, "Just draw anything that comes to your mind." So they draw a boat. Now, the person on the headphones, you would expect, because obviously we asked the question, could you tell the person on the headphones what this person has drawn? So that person could quite easily go tractor, because we're on a farm. He came out with ship. So he's drawn a boat. He said ship. He could have said anything random, and we're nowhere near, well, kind of near water, but not like Southampton Docks or so forth. So it just shows there's some intelligent out there.
But that's
Probably
it.
Me.
You know, with an necrophonic, you are going to get some words that been deadly squat. You know,
Exactly, yeah.
Not every single response you get is going to mean something, but it's when you get intelligent responses to your questions or your drawings, you know, whatever it is you've done, and it comes back like shit, whatever. You know, number
And I think
3,
at the same location, I was on it.
Yes.
As well.
Oh, yes. That was the very first time.
We did it,
Very first time we did the Gansfield, we were actually guests with another group. And so you were sat in the middle of the circle.
Yeah.
And so she ain't got a clue what's going on. So she's blindfolded, headphoned up. And I was talking very, very quietly, just like this. And we asked the spirits, could you touch her leg? Can you pull her hair? And Next minute, Mum's like,
yeah, I'm done.
headphones are off, blindfolds flown off. Nope, I'm done. Why? What happened? Was it something blue in your ear?
No,
your hair got
pulled
pulled.
my hair at the back like a real yank.
So
as well,
it's kind of done. Fast.
Yeah,
you didn't expect it.
No,
no,
I certainly
no. Even the group that we was with, even the investigators that were there were like, okay, come off of that. Yeah. Like they're okay, they're ramping up in here. So they're trying to just calm the energy down. Because obviously at that point, I don't think anything was really happening. No. Some people were saying that they were seeing a dog go around their feet. My partner, bless him, he cracked his neck, and then somebody said, "Oh my god, I can hear knocking." But if it was my partner's neck, knocked his neck, but I couldn't have the heart to tell them it was my partner's neck. But we were guessing. Sorry if you're watching. But yeah, so that's why we just thought, nothing was kind of coming through. You can hear the breaking of the spirit box. So there was something trying to come through, but we just thought, okay, let's poke her, touch her leg, pull her hair, and
and I genuinely wasn't hearing anything, not even on the spirit box.
No, because she had pen and paper to write down.
There was just nothing. It was just literally white noise. I couldn't hear anything going on, and then there was just this yank at the back of my head.
It can take you by surprise. I mean, nothing freaks me out. I'm the same as usual. I'll be doing the dark, all the tunnels, all that kind of stuff. I mean, I've spoken before about the Whispering Lady we caught, and we had it verified by about 11 different people that it was not through the app.
Yeah,
it was actually, she was right next to me. Well, I think about a month, 4 or 5 weeks ago, we done a place called Loudon-Kirk again with Spig, and I had the headphones on and stuff. Yeah. And I was just standing there, and this one particular area was, is not be quite active. I got the same woman, same settings.
Wow.
Whispering, and I wasn't scared. It was just took me totally out the blue, and I took the thing. I said, right, time out.
Yeah.
Because it was the same women, and as I say, it wasn't through that, because we have had it verified by so many. Jim Martin as well. He broke it all down for us. He said that is not through the app, and so to get that in my ear, that same lady, and the two locations are maybe 15, 20 mile apart.
So
the time I got her,
the land's connected, so absolutely.
So you think is she kind of latched on to me, and maybe she's just letting me know that she's still hanging about?
She's still around. Yeah. Absolutely.
Kind of reminder, by the way, I'm still here.
Yeah.
We did have an interest with Ben on the necrophonic.
Yes. So the secret location, one of our members, Ben, and you had gone home. Wizzy and Dave, other members, they had gone home. So it left me, Jamie, Ben, and Kian. We were going to stay the night, and it got to about, I think it was about 2 a.m. at this point, and necrophonic was just coming through with some gibberish. Like you said, it's not always going to be what matches your question, so you dismiss that. That's put it to one side. We've got Jamie was doing an EVP on his phone, and Ben was recording. And we clear as day heard Ben. So Ben comes through on the necrophonic and in Male's voice. So Ben's like, and I was like, did that just say your name, Ben? And he was like, but did you not hear what it said after? I was like, no. Like, okay, he's like, right, stop necrophonic. Ben, only me, Kian, and Jamie only heard Ben. So only Ben heard what it said after. And he played it back to us, and all you hear is the male voice go, Ben, and a woman's voice go, you should die. And then a couple of days after that, he ended up in A&E because he had a look at, I think it was a little accident on his bike, which involved his ankle, which he's absolutely fine. He's all good. I've seen him today. I've picked him and his girlfriend up.
But it was clear
as day. Yeah. Ben, you should die. Yeah. I think I can maybe find it and see if I can play it through to you guys if you like. Let's have a look.
Well, I was sat in bed about to go to sleep, and then she sent the voice clip through to me, and me and my husband are like, "Did that just say what we thought it said?" And it's like, you should die.
Yes.
Yeah. It was weird. Have you got the actual clip?
Yeah, I've got it.
In amongst all of the Ghoul Gang messages.
That can't be it. That's not the bit. Give me literally a second away.
No.
Here it is. Okay. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it. Maybe it doesn't want to play.
Are you on flight mode?
No, I've got my 4G on. Maybe it doesn't want to play.
I've just had a thing pop up on my monitor here saying my monitor's about to switch off in 15 seconds.
So normally when you sleep like, with the mouse, it should like wake it up.
I'm trying to do this with the mouse, but it's no letting me. I've got 6. If I disappear, I will be back.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
We'll try and find the clip.
We'll just keep trying to find the clip.
You sent it to me, but you send me lots of messages.
If you go into the Ghoul Gang, you should.
Is it in the Ghoul
Gang?
Gang?
If you go into the Ghoul Gang, we will find
There's
it.
lots
guys.
of messages in there as well.
Yeah.
You carry on.
I'll take Mum's phone.
Oh, Scott's gone.
Yeah, Scott's gone. He'll be back. We'll just keep talking.
We carry on.
We can't see any comments coming up. But obviously, if you have any more questions,
can we see if it's there?
Ooh,
yeah, we can see this now.
Comments. Let's have a look. So the last one is obviously Laura. So she's put Fabby Night, great evidence. Yeah. Any night that kind of gives you some activity. We like dead nights, like we excuse the pun of dead nights. We do like active nights, but we sometimes do like dead nights because it just shows that we're not faking anything. We've not set anything up, especially obviously if we take some guests with us.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you get evidence coming through, that paranormal bug comes out, and it's like
She's gonna try.
What's your?
Oh my God! Sorry, I was gonna say it out loud then.
I say a phone pin out loud. So where is the Ghoul Gang?
She's still trying to find it. Sorry,
I will find it. My phone don't get much signal with my mum's, and I'm not allowed her internet code.
Funny that.
Yeah. Yes. Hey, I'm back. I can see
You're
you.
back.
You're back.
Hi. We kept talking a little bit.
Seemed like it was on a timer.
Right.
Okay, here we go.
I don't think it said. It keeps saying something went wrong. No, I don't think it keeps just whirring. The video before keeps saying something wrong. I'll have to get Ben to send them to me again because it's there. Look,
It's there, but it's not playing
it's not playing
on either of our phones.
No.
Weird.
Oh, next, yeah.
I'll
We'll
send it.
we'll play around and I'll send it to you because it's epic. Sorry about that, guys.
Send it whenever you can. I do apologise for disappearing. I take it
You're right.
You still see me. I can see diddly squat. The same with the new monitor. It was on a timer, which is really what you want. Do you know what I mean? Your monitor on timers and stuff. I can see you again now. But one question I wanted to is, we're talking about reactions. You know, you whip the headphones off and whatever. And I think it was Rigger up was talking a couple of weeks ago about this. Can you, when you watch, like say, ghost shows or other teams investigating, do you find it easy to tell what a fake reaction is to a natural reaction?
Yeah, so it's hard because I love all the paranormal programs that are out there. I believe, like the question earlier, that I'm always polite, and some people like to heckle it. Each to their own. That's them. That works for them. But if I watch some of those programs now, I'm like, now I'm so far into being an investigator. I'm like, this is a little bit cheesy, isn't it? And I'm thinking, no, like show us the door. Show us the door moving from 2 angles. Don't just say it got slammed shut and you only see like that much of the door, like of the angle of it. Like, it's hard because
we just sit and look at each other when something.
we're like, it don't quite
doesn't
sit right, because
Yeah.
I'm thinking if we could try and if they try and recreate it, because we try and recreate everything that we do, any noise we try and recreate it. So if they tried to recreate it and it happened again, fair play. That's but it's always a funny angle. It's always, it's hard. I can't think of the right words to use for this. But
it's just a bit dodgy.
It's a little bit dodgy.
It's always, it's always conveniently off. I don't give a things they happen off the camera. We've had it ourselves. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's always conveniently off the camera, and it always seems to be the same kind of reaction. As I was saying to Rig the other week, this is just my view, my thoughts. You know,
and we always find most actors have to off camera.
yeah.
Aye. When you watch these programs, whoever it is, you can tell it's kind of set up because you know there's all different reactions, you know, but you can tell. How can I put it? I can't mind the way I put it. That when I was talking before, there's a kind of certain scope of reactions. Every TV show will do the same, but make it slightly different, but it's along the same lines.
Yeah, it's like you said, it's like it's set up to be that one level, and it's like.
But it's like if they go to 30 East Drive, it's always the getting dragged up the stairs. And, well, that doesn't happen every time. You've been 2 or 3 times.
I've been 3 times, and I've sat on the stairs. Yeah, ballsy person I am.
It's like when it's on TV, it always happens. Someone gets dragged up the stairs, or
the knife
in the sofa, and
Well, I was running around that house like Chucky with a knife. Yeah, and I set up knives across everywhere, and nothing moved. But that's not to say, but every night's a different night. But
it doesn't just happen for TV programs.
No, it's absolutely. And I always believe that we're there for one night normally, whereas these people are there for pretty much a week, like 5 days to 3 days, and they capture an hour's worth of stuff. Whereas we're there for one night and we can catch one cat ball going off. Yeah, and that's exciting.
I thought you nail, you know. Rosie with the cat ball, you know, but I'll come back to East Drive. But I spoke to people and say, all right, you know, we like to take 2, you know, off the cat balls and everything because everyone had a great night. But you get these people who spend thousands of pounds on tech, no disrespect it, but even one flicker of a cat ball is a result.
Yeah,
absolutely. Something that's made that cat ball. It's like we done a location we spent maybe a month ago, and I was down. I done a lone vigil in the basement, and I was down there for I don't know about half an hour, 40 minutes or something. I was down there just myself, and it was pitch black tonight, you know. But I got the REM pod very briefly went off for about just once. And the K2 lightly flit. I mean, you're talking about something like that, you know. So people would say, you know, that's not much, but it is.
It is, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know.
Laura's just raised about the cat ball in her own house. I was going to bring up exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Rosie brought me a couple of cat balls along with other things for my birthday. And my husband one night is like, yeah, let's go and get the cat ball out. We'll put it on the
very
landing.
Ballsy of my dad.
Yeah,
to say
he grew a pair.
He grew a pair that night.
We just left it there, and everything's pitch black. We had the telly on, and all of a sudden, this cat ball starts going off on our landing, and he's like looking at me like, "Shit, what?" And he went out there. And he was literally blowing it, jumping by it, everything, and we could not make that ball.
And you live in a cul-de-sac, so you live in a cul-de-sac. Basically, you're at the end of an estate.
Yes,
it's not nowhere near main
no
roads.
Vibration or anything, and we just could not recreate that.
No.
And it has done it again since. But because of where we live, we actually live on the old Spitfire runways in Southampton, where the ladies used to repair them and take the Spitfires off for delivery. And even though it's a 20-odd-year-old house, even yourself and our son have seen things in this house.
Yeah.
And now my husband's convinced there's something on the landing because this cat ball, whenever we put it out there, it just keeps going for it.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. He grew a pair that night.
You grew a pair that night, but yeah, we quickly lost it. Quickly lost it, and he didn't turn it off. Yes, Laura, absolutely. Please send. And obviously, likewise, I'll send some of the stuff that I've got from our side to you, so you can kind of see what we kind of get as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Laura's got a unit, a kind of bookcase thing, I call it, and to her pets on top. Ashes kind of things, put a cat ball up there, and it kept going off. Different various times. Obviously, there was nothing up there. We've had that in here one night, Sarah and I. What we did was set up a off camera, and we put a cat ball on a cushion, and we went to bed. Now you can see us going to bed. The cats weren't, there was nothing else in the room. About 30 minutes in, no, it wasn't. It was about 6 minutes in. I tell a lie. The cat ball goes off.
Wow.
And it was sitting on a cushion like that.
Yeah.
So it's very still.
Yeah.
You've kind of like.
It can't roll.
Yeah.
It can't go anywhere. And the cat ball goes up, flashes away.
Yeah.
And then the footage cut off after about 2 hours or something. The camera just cut off. Be right back, kiddies to bed.
Night, kiddies.
It's things like that you can't explain, but I was saying one flash of a cat ball. That's the result because something has made that go off.
Yes. So I was at a location called Stansted House, which is down the south coast. It's just past Portsmouth. And two of my guests, they were like, "Can we do an experiment?" I went, "Absolutely, it's your night." So, because obviously I'm an investigator, they've paid to be here. I said, "You do what you like. I will help guide you." So they said, "Can we have one cat ball out of the packaging and one cat ball in the packaging?" I said, "Yeah." So the one that was out of the packaging went on this beautiful old wheelchair, and it was all flat on the wheelchair, and one in the packaging, they had a head with a deer with antlers, so they wedged the package one up there. Mm-hmm. They turned it all on, and in the middle of this room was a long, big wooden table, wooden benches either side. So we're all sat either side of this big table watching these cat balls. And the person that set the experiment up said, "Can you set the one in the packaging up? Can you set the cat ball up? That's very new." Next minute, the one with the antlers start going off. Well, it's in packaging. And the little red button is like, I don't know if anyone's ever bought these cat balls. They're in Sainsbury's. The little red button's through like a little plastic hole, so you can test in the shop that they work before you buy them. And so that started going off. Then we said, "Can you set the one off on the wheelchair?" Then that went off. Then back and forth. Next minute, the one on the wheelchair, like it got flicked, the ball just come flying at us, landed under, and it rolled underneath all of our feet. We all picked our feet up and went, "Right, that's that. Out we go. We're gone." Like, how can for 5 minutes that these cat balls were asking each one to go off, because it was like fascinating on command, and then the one on the wheelchair, literally, like it just got flicked off of that chair and it just launched itself out of us. I've never seen a cat ball do that in my life. I really want to now. I won't run away this time. I promise, spirits. But yeah, that one.
That happened to us at a cut card way last year. It was top of an iron fence.
Right.
Old iron fences, and the fence went into a concrete plinths bases things, and the cat ball was, and I saw somebody flicked it off, but nobody had, because with 2 cameras on it.
Wow.
And I checked the other camera, and you can see I was standing holding the phone filming, and I just turned just a fraction to the left, so the cat ball was just out of view, and it came flying off. And I said, "Did somebody flick that?" Or because it came right across, and there was a mausoleum in front of it, maybe 6 or 7 feet, something like that, in front of this fence, and it hit off it and bounced over the ground.
Wow.
And
Brilliant.
it was just when I turned that camera, and you're talking about millimeters
Yeah.
off the ball. But I checked the other camera, and you can quite clearly see this was a locked off camera. The ball coming off.
Amazing.
You know, and a lot of people might say it's crap, but you know, explain it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and this is the thing. We didn't film that, or stupidly, we wasn't. I think one person was filming, which was one of the guests, but I think they stopped it because where we were starting to wrap up, like because it was coming up to the end of the night, it was like stopped filming, so we never caught that bit. But like with yours, if it was windy, like so windy, you would hear that on your video. You would hear, you'd hardly kind of hear you talking if it's that windy. And I've seen cat balls in the wind, not even going off. So
I know they don't go.
no, and I think I've had one slightly do like a little kind of roll, when we were at the cemetery, the war graves in Netley, but it wasn't going off.
Didn't go.
So it just kind of not proves, but it kind of helps you say that they don't go off in the wind. So
They don't. I mean, we were in investigations, and I'll take them out. We keep them in a pub. I think we've got 4 or 5 of them, and I'll take them out, and I'll just randomly pull them. You know, towards it, you know, and they've bounced off headstones and that, and they've driven up, you know, or I'll roll it across the grass. You know, through that, put that one out there, and they don't go off. But then you say, you know, can you touch that ball I put in the ground, and it goes off.
You can't explain it.
Yeah, and you also swap them around.
Swap them around. Some of mine, or some of my old ones used to be numbered, so I can kind of like go. Especially if one I felt was a bit dodgy, I would be numbering it, but or just like a little like color marker on it. But I've now put 2 of my cat balls inside a bear. So I got a white bear from the charity shop. The lady in the charity shop was like, "Oh my, he's so cute." I was like, "He won't be. Like he's gonna have his back sliced open and 2 cats in his feet."
I'm going to cut them open and stick something inside. That sounds so wrong, doesn't it? You know.
We went into the church in the cemetery at Clapham Woods.
Yeah.
And this bear was going for it. We had him sat on a grave. It wasn't windy.
Nope.
Nobody was near it, and literally it was going off on command.
Yeah.
It was the foot was.
So the cat balls are they're sat inside some fluff inside the feet, so they can't move. So
yeah,
I've only put it in a bear as a trigger object because a bear is inviting to children. Yeah,
it worked.
It works.
But if it works, you know, if it works, it works. You know, we've tried things as well. As one as idea this old wooden kind of train set, and it's just bits of wood, and there's a wee wooden engine, and I put it on there, and I always put the wheel right bang on one of the joints, and I'll leave a camera on it.
Yeah,
you know, and I'll go back every now and again just to see if it's moved beyond that line. It's not worked yet, but
it will. You just never know.
Exactly, we're going to keep at it, and
they'll get used to it. It's like, because I like when we explained to, obviously we asked the spirits, can you go and touch that cat ball? They're going to be like,
what's that?
What's, you know, but we just say that little flashing ball on the floor. So we demonstrate to help them indicate it's there. That's where it is. I promise you, it doesn't make any sound. It only flashes different colors. It's not going to harm you. So yeah, but we just say that little plastic ball on the floor, and like a spirit box. Don't be alarmed. It's just got a red light on it. So I put the red light on because I've got the SP11 one. So I put the red light on. So it helps them kind of come towards that light for them. And you just kind of be basic with them.
Yeah.
Try and be basic with them. That's all I say is because
that's exactly
they don't understand 2022 technology.
I
don't understand it half the time. So.
Exactly. You know, I don't understand it. I mean, you know, I always say when they came to me the black box, because it doesn't matter if you've got a spirit for the 16th or the 18th century, whatever. Everybody knows what a box is.
A box, yeah.
You know, you see that black box that I put down on the ground, touch that. And we don't get a response every time, obviously, but a lot of the time we do get a response. And I think, what was I like, your lady's opinions on it? Spirit can tell right away whether you're genuine or not.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, if you go in a location, whether it be, say, a graveyard, They can tell right away, you know, these people are okay. You know, they're genuine. Like,
we had that actually. Yeah. We really did. We were at the 1940s tea room, which was our first paid location that we went on as the Ghoul Gang. And we were getting a couple of little bits going on. We had the cat ball going on. Then, and it was only me, my dad. It was just me and my dad. And
It was
Jamie, I think, was in there. And then everybody came to that room, and then it just stopped. It like stopped. Then they all went back, and we were like, look, you know, we're not going to harm you at all. You know, or like, I think we were asking, can you set the cat ball off again, please? Because the cat ball was going off with the bear. Then like the K2 was going off. And then it stopped again. And I said, look, you know, come and do it again. So come on, you know, you can do it. Use all of our energy, our positive energy. Come on. Nothing. And I thought, you know what? I feel like they don't really know us. And I just automatically went, look, we're not going to harm you. We're here to respect you. We want to know who you are. You know, shame. Next minute, off it went again. And then we were just like, Jamie went, that was your senses kicking in. You were feeling that person's feelings of, well, actually, I don't know who you are. You could harm me because we could be in their home because it's a 1950s tea room now. So this could have been their home back then. And we're invading it. So 10, what was it, 7? I think it was about 9 people was tromping on in. So we're going back. We're going back.
It's kind of overwhelming for them. It's the same as get these teams, and it really annoys me, you know. And you get these teams that go out and they're they say they're genuine, but then they make up a load of bollocks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's an example. I'm not going to name them, but there's a few areas around where we stay that have got ties to William Wallace.
Right.
There's one particular place. It's about 10 minutes drive because we've never actually visited it. We should, you know, shame we should. But it's not a big tie to him, but it's got a tie to William Wallace, this place. And this particular team done it one night, and lo and behold, they got William Wallace and a horse.
Oh. Yeah.
And you're sitting there thinking, really, seriously? It's just, you know, I mean, William Wallace, Scottish hero. I'm sorry, but I'm laughing here. Laura knows who I'm talking about. But it's when you watch them and, you know, and you say, we've got William Wallace here, and you think, no, it's something.
No.
Wallace, you know, and you've got a horse.
Just go home.
And get these people that are believing it.
Yes.
You know, and you know, the other one is this other individual, shall we say, who's convinced that George Mackenzie. You know who George Mackenzie was?
Yeah.
They convinced that he visits her at home. He drops out 10, 15 minutes and then goes away again.
Yeah.
And she does this on lives.
Yeah.
You know,
there's some like, again,
it just gives everyone a bad name. Or makes us look weirder than we already are.
Yeah, we're already weird, but only be any weirder. It's like myself when people say, I've just brought a haunted doll. How do you know it's haunted? Like, you've just bought it for £3. Like, I've got dolls. I've actually just got rid of loads. I've kind of departed from some, but all the ones that I've done up a little bit more creepy, I don't say they're haunted. I just take them out on investigations. They're part of the team, and they're trigger objects. They're for kids. They look a little bit creepy for effect. That's all. One of them is Victoria. I will say it on here. I've said it loads of times now. I've got a bit of coal from 30 East Drive, and it's in the middle of her chest. Now, that coal, that's not from when the Pritchard family lived there. That's from the shop down the road 2 months ago. So it's only in the middle of her chest to create as a vessel and to create a little bit of energy. Again, I would never say she's haunted.
No.
I will say the cat balls go off around her, but then the cat balls go off in my home. It doesn't matter where I put them. It just means I've put her next to the cat balls that are going off. And is it coincidence? But it's not her doing it. So
haunted, not grieving. don't even get me started with the haunted dogs. And I know there is, I've seen this many a time. There are documented cases throughout the world, that
Yeah.
are haunted dogs, etc. And but it's just got to the beyond ridiculous
Yeah.
situation. And these clowns that I was talking about with the William Wallace thing, they've got about 7 of them or something. And they've all got their own story, and there's a spirit attached to each one. But you
Yeah.
go on to Amazon and eBay, and they've got the same dog with the same name, with the same story, and it's, that's what really riles me. That these so-called teams and they'll stand and they'll say, "I've got William Wallace," and you think, fucking bollocks. There is no bollocks, isn't there, basically? Or they'll stand and they'll feed each other information.
Yeah.
On a live.
Yeah.
Like say, you were beside the door. I was beside the door. I remember we heard the footsteps. I heard and his name was Harold. I heard Harold on the stairs and the footsteps. What the hell are you talking about? You're just giving each other bits and pieces of information.
Yeah, it's like when we do live sometimes, we kind of say the same thing at the same time. So, and we haven't like scripted that in the car going to the location. Like at 9:45, we're going to say, "Did you hear those footsteps?" We tend to say it at the same time. And if, I might say, "Did you hear that?" But we all go,
"No,
no, I didn't." Or, "Yeah, I did." Okay, yeah. Okay, let's try and recreate to how that happened. But yeah, we're all honest with each other in our group. And we would never dismiss if they didn't hear it. I wouldn't go, "Oh, for God's sake," but I'd be, "No, that's cool. That's just me and my weird ears then,
But I 100%, we've been at, and we've been at locations, like the white mist that Laura was talking about earlier on. Everybody's seen it bar me.
Yeah, exactly.
Why? I don't know.
Yeah, you want to see it, but it just didn't happen.
We were at Southampton Cemetery a few weeks ago. Myself, Dave, and Wizzy were stood in a little group. You were doing Gansfield, with someone with
Lewis. Yeah,
Jamie was recording. Myself and Dave heard a specific noise. Wizzy heard it, but she also heard it slightly different. But then we wouldn't dismiss. She said it sounded like a squeaky dog toy. But we heard it as something different, but we wouldn't dismiss what she heard. And likewise, it's...
Whereas I heard nothing.
Yeah.
Whereas
we ran.
All I heard was them kind of going, "Oh, what the hell?" And then backing up into us. And next minute, we're all running.
But it's like what we and Dave heard. So, like marching on gravel. So it's like a... And then it was getting quicker. So it's like something was pushing us out. So obviously we ran, but Wizzy was like, I could hear squeaking like the dog toy, but could that have been squeaking of leather boots that were marching on the gravel? So we all heard something, but just slightly different. So, yeah.
That is weird. It happened to us last year at Caldwell. We were there about 7 or 8 times. We get some brilliant, responses. But particular night when we got the Whispering Lady, now I think there was 70s there. Everybody heard this sharp intake of breath, and they were. I never heard any. No, I think this happened maybe 4 or 5 times. They heard this particular intake of breath. Wow. And they were saying, "Can you not hear that?" I said, "I can't hear it." And luckily we've got it on camera. When I heard the Whispering Lady, I responded to it, and so did everybody else.
Wow.
Okay.
But what I didn't know at the time was they were responding to the intake of breath.
Right.
So the exact second that I heard this lady, they heard this intake of breath.
Had the breath, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And so I thought they were reacting to the lady because it was the same.
Because that's what you were hearing.
But we heard the intake of breath. I said, I've never heard nothing except that.
Yeah.
And I couldn't explain that. It was the same as how it was Laura and I. We were all in this location down in the basement, and Laura and I heard a very distinct metal scraping sound, like something getting dragged. It was a kind of a vaulted basement. There must have been maybe about a dozen different rooms. And we heard this nobody else heard it.
No.
Wow.
And there was nothing. It was all stone, bits of grass and stuff in this room. There was nothing there that could have made this. But we two heard this.
Just you two. Yeah.
God.
And so
It's like
similar with
sometimes
you.
you'll say, "Did you hear that?" And you're like, "No."
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think obviously with my job, so I'm a medical secretary today. So completely different off of the paranormal world. Work within the NHS.
Different, aye.
Yeah. So I've got when I'm doing audio typing, that we actually don't do audio typing now, thanks to 365.
Well, yeah.
So you could
Yeah.
do dictation on it. But so I'm used to listening to the doctors talking. So I'm really like listening. So I think I've got an ear to listen out for the things that are like beyond what we can kind of hear or right next to us. But then is it there or is it just me imagining it? I don't know. You don't hear it?
No. Yeah.
It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's
We're going to try a new experiment. We're definitely very interested to hear my hearing device, especially after a visit last week. Laura suffers. Laura's deaf.
Oh, bless.
So she's got this hearing device. I call it a Walkman. You know, a noiser, but I call it a Walkman. And it's a thin, it's the size of that pen, basically.
Wow.
About that thick. Like a hearing aid sort of thing.
Yeah.
We went to a location just for a visit the other day, and she said she picked up, she could hear a woman saying hello or hiya. So what we're going to try, we're hoping it's going to be during the week, next week. So we're going to go out to a location, and we're going to put the headphones on it and the blindfold.
Oh, God. See what happens. Yeah. That would be amazing to hear that. Yeah.
What we're going to do, we're going to go out, try and do it as a live, and we're going to ask somebody in the chat to tell us what to write down on a whiteboard.
Yeah.
So there'll be no talking to any of us there.
Yeah.
So it was somebody random.
Yeah.
What a perfect experiment to do.
That'd be brilliant.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
I might nick that.
What?
I might nick that method. Because that just shows you haven't scripted it on the way there. Like I said, 9:45. Did you hear those footsteps thing? It's the person watched. Again, I don't know how many people you've got watching. Say 5 people. Say those 5 people are going to have 5 different thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all going to. So you ask one person, and they're going to.
Cool.
Yeah. I hope that works out. I'll be watching that.
Be watching that.
And don't worry, you won't be need to write down.
If you want to try it, ladies, fire in. You know,
yeah. I like that. And this is what I like about the paranormal, like obviously like coming on with yourself, creating a paranormal family and helping and sharing ideas and sharing like your evidence with each other and not dismissing anything and nothing like a guinea pig, anything. Oh, bless her. But yeah, we're sharing experiments with each other and sharing what we've captured, and you won't dismiss it. We won't dismiss it.
I think a mistake we made when we initially started the Ghoul Gang is we weren't recording anything.
No, we just thought before we kind of named ourselves, didn't we? Before we named ourselves, we were just going to be like, we're just going to do ghost walks, do what we like doing. And
we
then
caught so much evidence, but we didn't record it. Yeah, it was
So then we thought, you know what?
Sod it.
The Ghoul Gang, and we actually the name. It was 7 names.
Yeah, 7
names into a pot, and you know on Android on the apps you get the spinny thing, so you put all the names in and you press star and it spins like the Wheel of Fortune. All the names got put on this. And you had 2 in there. I think everyone had about 2, so maybe I think there was maybe 10 names in there actually.
Yeah.
And the Ghoul Gang came out first, and we were like, and it was your like not jokey one, but like a little bit funny
last minute,
not the serious name. And it came out Ghoul Gang. We're like, okay, 3 spins, 3 different names, then do a second spin on the 3 names, and then that will be our final name. Well, the Ghoul Gang came out the second time in a row. And we were like, okay, do a third spin. So your first name comes out. So it was always going to be Mum's name. And then on the second set of spinning with the 3 names, the Ghoul Gang came out first. So that's how Ghoul Gang came out.
Yeah.
I think it's a really, really good name, and it's not too serious. It's not too. I mean, I you know, there are groups out there, and they've got names like this isn't an actual group. This is, you know, like the Ghost Interceptors and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, the Ghost Terminators and stuff like that. You know, I mean, your name.
A joke.
Yeah, we go. I like Ging Gang, Gooly Gooly.
It's, you know, it's nothing. It's nothing big and technical and stuff, you know, and it is one of the hardest things trying to choose a name for yourself.
Yeah. Yes, and especially where there's 7 of us, and we all wanted to make it as fair as possible, and with all the other names, we can still use them because yes, we're the Ghoul Gang now, but we're gonna do like with Jamie.
He like back to basics.
Back to basics. So we will then do Ghoul Gang back to basics night. So we'll still use everybody's name in a way, so which will be on our nights. So we still get everyone's involved. Our group is everyone's involved. Every thoughts are heard. Every voice is heard. So
all on an even keel.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that's what it should be like, you know. Whether it's choosing a name or, you know, doing whatever it is you're doing. I mean, like your name when we chose, with Sarah and I started to be, you know, with paranormal history paranormal, get an interest in base. Well, how do we put it together and what have you, and then we go paranormal in history. So basically it means history, and we've dropped the paranormal into it as well.
Amazing name.
It is really good.
Yeah.
And it took us, I can't mind how long it took us to come up with it, but you know, it's nothing fancy. It's plain, same as our logo. We don't have a big fancy logo. It's a plain white, but it's a plain box. And the good thing about the box is we can stick anything we want in the box, which we have done.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Sarah just.
It's memorable. Paranormal and history. It's something that you can't forget because history and the paranormal just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So,
exactly. But you're trying to copy people and, you know, you're typing away for it. Oh, you've got that name, you've got that name, damn it, you've got that name. You know, you're wild and wild up. But just before we went on, I want to ask you about East Drive. We had the chance last year to do East Drive with GSI, but just the way it worked out, it was a Wednesday. They were doing it via charge because they're on Paraflix. You know GSI?
Yes. So I think you've spoken about them before, and I believe Brian.
Yes.
Brian worked for GSI
when he was over.
So when he was over, so I didn't work with them because they took Brian to Sherwood Forest, which is my ultimate place to go. Nottingham.
You done there last year?
No, you have. I'm so jealous.
But we done it with GSI actually as part of the Halloween.
Wow. So I think we're going to need to hit up GSI and
that tree.
Yeah, and go to the tree. The tree. I think there's many trees, but there's a certain tree, isn't there?
There is. Yeah,
but no, GSI. We had a FaceTime when we did, because where Brian did stuff for Paraflix, we all had like a team meeting of. Brian was up and down the country, wasn't he? But yeah, they're really cool. And what they do as well is really awesome.
They're actually our longest running guests on. We've known them since day dot, basically. I think we were just running a few weeks when we first had the bone, and we keep in close contact with them. They were on about 3 weeks ago. I think we had them on by. We done Sherwood Forest, it was a fantastic night. But they had the chance. John phoned me on the Monday, and he says, "Right, we've got the chance to do East Drive this Wednesday." Free of charge for Paraflix come down, but it was too short notice. We just could not do it. You know, it just wasn't feasible because the wee one was at school and what have you. But I don't know, 50 East Drive, 30 East Drive. I'm going like 10 doors down. They're neighbours. Then I get 50. Then we drive. I don't know, because I was going to say I'm kind of 50-50 on it. That's where
Yeah.
I came from. What was your overall impression here?
So, first time I went, you've got this expectation naturally because you know what's happened there. So they do have the film When the Lights Went Out, and they also have the episode of Nick, Groff, and Katrina on Paranormal Lockdown. So they've got their episodes there at 30 East Drive. So you get to watch that in 30 East Drive, which is really cool. You get this expectation. Walking in, it smells old. Sorry, the dog's panting, so you might hear some like you might hear dog panting. Yes. So yeah, it smells old. It smells a bit musty. It's obviously still got like the old wallpaper. It's decorated still like the 80s. I did not sleep the first night. I didn't sleep the second time I went, and I haven't slept the third time I went. And I don't think I'll sleep the fourth time I go, because I think we will plan to go because you've never been.
No.
I heard stuff. I was sleeping in Phil's room, so his pink carpet room. I was on the actual bed, and you look at the lampshade because it's to do with the lampshade that starts in the film. You see the lampshade moving, and that's when it's conjuring. So I'm looking up at the lampshade going, don't you dare move. Don't you dare. No, Rosie, you're here to do a job. Lampshade, do it. Obviously, it never did it. And I can hear stuff going on in the next room. There, nobody's in that room. And the only thing I can think of is recreate that noise is in the big bedroom. They've got an old, like, not like the bathroom light with an old cord. That's in that bedroom. It's not connected to anything, I don't think, because you've actually got a light switch in there. So I'm not sure what that's for. But they've got that in there, and it's got like a little plastic on the end.
A lot of the old shivers of that.
Yeah. It's literally like that in the double bedroom, which would be the mum and dad's room. And I thought, okay, I looked at it and I thought, if I swing it, will it go on that wall? And it was that noise. So I'm thinking, but when we went and checked during the night, it was dead still. So I don't know. But the expectations of it, it's hard to really, really explain. I don't think that this black monk is there because so many people have helped cleanse the house. But I believe there is something there. And it's not horrible at all. It's not negative. It's very, very playful. And I felt my shorts being played with one time.
Inside your sleeping bag.
Inside my sleeping bag. And I was like, get that sleeping bag off. Right. I'm out of the sleeping bag now. And I'm thinking, I can see everything going on. I'm thinking, no, I can't see a ghost, can I? They're see-through. So I'm thinking, but yeah, there's definitely something there. I don't think it is what was attacking Diane, but as our old house, yeah, definitely there. But what I would recommend to do is visit the church a little bit further down, and which is, I can't remember the name. But if you look at our logo on the back of our Facebook page, it is the Church of Pontefract. Go there first, and you'll get a feeling. And it feels connected. That's how I feel.
We've got Mike Bogle coming in on Sunday night to do the first of 3 lives on the Ripper that we're doing. So he's coming in. He's a ripperologist, but he done Paranormal Lockdown.
Right.
With Nick and Katrina. And I was in a video call with him last week, and he was talking about this is where he met them. Initially at the church.
The church, yeah.
Because it wasn't the house we met them. I met with them at the church. I will tell you, he was saying, all I say is there's no evidence of there being a well there. Ever been a well?
No.
They can't
because
find...
it's said to be the well underneath the house. So before, obviously, the houses were built, because it's a housing estate, and it's literally just off of a big roundabout. And you've got a school near, literally kind of opposite to one side of it. So when you're driving into this, you're like, it's just a housing estate, and then you see it, and it's like, oh,
It's nothing special.
okay, it's nothing special. I'm thinking, what was I expecting? But then when you walk in, there's something, and I can't figure out what that something is.
Do you think maybe? I mean, I think it's the land. We've never been, and I'm not any expert by any means, but I think it's possible with the land. But do you think maybe that feeling you're getting is because of the hype? I mean, take for instance the Covenanters prison.
Yeah.
Friars. You walk in the grave. There is a sense when you walk in the grave, the atmosphere does change.
Yeah.
Same as when you walk into the Covenanters prison, it's a different kind of atmosphere. But I think a lot of people feel the change, or they get this feeling because they already know the history behind this place.
Yeah.
Like they say the Covenanters, you get people walking through the gates saying, "Oh, I feel scared. I feel," because they already know what happened.
The hairs have gone up. And,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe East Drive. I'd like to do East Drive maybe at some point this year. We'll get down to. Yeah, but I was just want your take on it, because I have spoken to a lot of people, and it's kind of 50-50. I've heard people saying it's crap.
I know Dave and Wizzy went recently.
Yeah.
And Dave said he was fine. He didn't really feel anything.
Yeah.
He was led in the bath. Yeah.
I would say the first time I went, that's obviously where we watched the film there and watched the Paranormal Lockdown episode there, because it was like, oh my God. And then I phoned Mum, and I'm sat in the chair where Nick Groff was, because Nick Groff's my idol, other than you, Scott. And I phoned.
Nice, that was a good save. That was a good save. Well done there.
And I'm and I'm phoning Mum, and I'm like, Mum, I'm sat in the chair that Nick Groff sat on, and I'm sat on the sofa where Nick Groff led. So that was my excitement as well. But the first time there, nothing really, other than the cat balls, a couple of cat balls went off, nothing major went down. Second time, we can see like colours within. So we were sat in Diane's room, and opposite Diane's room is the bathroom. So you can see into the mirrors, and you've got the windows on the outside. And yes, okay, you've got the cars coming round the roundabout, but it created this weird yellowy purple colour. So it was quite an odd colour to kind of.
And we could see that on the live as well.
Yeah.
At the top of the stairs.
Yeah.
We could see.
So it was quite a hard colour to kind of, how are you going to recreate this colour?
Because I think it was quite near Christmas as well.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, are there those coloured Christmas lights out and about?
No. But there's definitely something there. And I always will say to somebody, you have to go to get your own.
Make your own
opinion. And I get some people say it's hyped, it's an overpriced B&B, and well, it is what it is. You got to do it. It's a bucket list thing.
You do need to go and judge for yourself.
Yeah.
It's the only. It's the same with investigations. We can investigate, and we can tell people we felt this, we felt that. So that's you're not going to believe it. Say, well, go and do it. Come along, experience it for yourself. Just sit at the back and just watch what's going on. You don't need to take part, and just see what you feel.
Yeah.
Because again, everyone else's experience is different.
It's always different.
Yeah.
And again, every night is different. So go a couple of times. I don't always say just dismiss the first one. Go a couple of times, because you'll then know from the third, fourth time what your feelings are. But the funniest thing to do there is order a takeaway. Now they do deliver, but they dump and run. So, it's so funny to watch the delivery men at the end of the pathway.
Do they not come to the door?
Well, they do very quickly. They
go, no, enjoy, bye.
We've even.
That'd be funny.
It is. We've even had time where it was absolutely hammering down with rain, and it was due a thunderstorm, and we were like, okay, this is going to be the night of the thunderstorm. It's going to kick off. But the thunderstorm never happened. It just rained. And we said to the guy while he was sorting stuff out, we were like, oh, come in from the rain. And he's like, no, gone. Off, he's gone. And we were like, oh God, you don't like 30 East Drive. So I recommend ordering a takeaway. They've got loads of leaflets in the drawer as well. So I recommend burger and chips is good.
If we get there, then because I'd love to see that.
It is funny. And apparently, so Carol, who lives next door, lovely lady, she hands you over the keys and stuff, and she will tell you, don't leave the keys unattended, because apparently they go walkies if you leave them unattended. We did. It was only just because we left them in the door. We couldn't find them on the side. But yeah, they go walkies, and there is a bunch of keys up on the side as well. So I won't say anymore.
See, that happened to me. Keys going walkies in my old flat. In my old flat, I used to put the key in. As soon as I went in, I put the key in the door. It was the thing my dad drilled into his. He would always say, when you lock the door, turn it 1/4 to the left extra.
Yeah.
Why? See, because if somebody's going to break in, they can poke the key out.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Turn it that one wee bit. So it was second nature. You know, even if I was going home for about 10 minutes, I would always lock the door. Turn it.
Yeah.
But this one particular morning, I got to go to work and the keys weren't in the door. I lived myself, you know, and I knew I'd looked at the door the night before, you know, I turned it as normal. And the keys weren't there. Where the hell's the keys? They were on the coffee table in the apartment, which was maybe a good 20, 30 feet. Now, I'm not saying they floated through the air through the night, you know, but all I'm saying is I couldn't explain that.
No, you had a few.
I don't sleepwalk or anything, and I know I went to my bed.
And you don't drink.
Don't drink.
No, he doesn't drink. No. Well, he drinks iron brew, but not the alcohol stuff.
The last couple of weekends, I've had a few beers. We've been away camping. So
Oh, you had a little
nice.
Nice.
You know, crack open a wee tinny and that, you know.
Yeah, nice.
I've not been tasted or anything, but I think that's beer. But
You
I
got
know we made it with keys walking. Well, it's allowed, isn't it? It's allowed, but I couldn't explain why my keys were sitting on the coffee table, because there's no way. And my dad used to always say, in case there's a fire during the night, you need your keys in the door as well. You know what dads and grands are like, you know. But they kind of hang rub off on you, but I could not explain that.
Explain it.
And to this day, I can't explain it. But we've been on nearly 2 hours, ladies.
We are.
I know.
Way past Mum's bedtime.
I'm normally in bed at 8.
Oh, well, so you got a late night. I said Saturday in the morning anyway.
Late night.
So just before we go, where can people find you?
So we are at the Ghoul Gang. So we're on Facebook. Just type in the Ghoul Gang. We don't have a website. We're kind of keeping it very simple, straight to social media. We are also on TikTok. I've just started learning TikTok. It's the Ghoul Gang there.
I do all our TikToks.
And, you do.
If I can do them, then trust me. Have you looked at TikTok?
Pardon?
Have you looked at our TikTok?
I haven't. No, I'm starting to learn, like kind of like watching a couple of videos. I'm thinking, right, okay, let me try and do that. That don't work. You know, the ones where like I'm a celebrity check and stuff like that. I end up like a dog or something. So,
oh no, I don't do anything like that.
I need to start watching some of the paranormal stuff on there. I get sidetracked.
I do kind of like slideshows and put music on them. And stuff like that, you know. I don't do any of that fancy stuff.
I've done a couple on ours. Literally, when some of the pictures that I've taken and used like the little glitch and the little like different colours of it and like some music to it. A 31-year-old trying to do this. But I've got a few likes on there, and Mickey York follows us, so I have to go and follow you now.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully.
Yes.
So that's where we can find you then, ladies.
Yeah. It's the Ghoul Gang.
Oh, I know where to find you anyway.
We'll just keep it nice and simple.
Yeah, we are. It is a private group, so obviously you'll just obviously hit join. You'll always be welcome and accepted.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Rosie, can you put a link up? I can find you. Yeah, what I will do is, so I'm going to go on home after this, and what I'll do is I'll pop into the comments our link to our Facebook page, and obviously then you can come and join us.
I think I've already joined you. Let me check. I think I already have. But we'll wind it up there for tonight. I'll hang on to you just for a couple of seconds, ladies, after we come up. Your mum's just about to conk out anyway.
Yeah.
So thanks to Rosie and Emma for coming on, and mind check out the Ghoul Gang, folks. We're back on Sunday night when we've got our first of 3 lives about Jack the Ripper. As we compare Jack the Ripper to H.H. Holmes.
Be watching
Tony
that.
Colbert team, our American team, and Mike Povell's coming in. Were they the same person? Were they not? Who knows? But we're doing our first one on Sunday night. With Mike, he's coming in to give us his rundown on famous Jack the Ripper. And then Monday night we're doing Forgotten Tudors as well.
Oh, I need to watch that. Tudor's my favourite.
We love it. We're massive Tudor fans, so we're doing. We have a girl called Megan coming in. She does.
You did mention last time. Yep.
So that's Monday night. We're doing about Tudor's Henry VIII and
nice.
Was he a hero or was he a tyrant?
Oh.
I love I'm saying nothing until Monday night. That's a whole
You'll be watching. I might watch
I'll be watching. But we'll cut it there, folks. So have a great weekend.
Yes.
Thanks again to the ladies for coming in, and we'll
thank
see
you for having us. Thank you everyone for watching.
Take care for now, folks. Bye. Bye.